Texas has passed a slew of laws that make it incredibly difficult for women to have access to either contraceptives or abortion services. Now, especially women living in rural areas or rural parts of Texas, they have found it even more difficult to find a clinic that gives them the type of healthcare that they need or family planning that they need. And the whole reason why this was done was because conservatives in the state wanted to lower the number of abortions. In fact, then Governor Rick Perry said his goal was to ensure abortions are as rare as possible under existing law. Well, interestingly enough, Texas A&M University decided to do some research to see if these restrictive abortion policies have actually given us the results or given conservatives the results that they wanted. And the truth is, no, it's actually the opposite. So in the first 3 years after Texas Republicans slashed the family planning budget in 2011 and shut down more than 80 women's health clinics, the abortion rate among teenagers in the state rose 3% over what it would have been had the clinics remained open. So if you look specifically at poor rural parts of Texas, they're the most impacted by this. For instance, in Gregg County, where the local health center lost 60% of its family planning funding, the abortion rate increased by 191% between 2012 and 2014.
Wow. So, but overall, on the abortion rate going up when you have less clinics like Planned Parenthood, I have a phrase you might be familiar with on that. Of course, if you have less birth control, you'll have more pregnancies. If you have more pregnancies, you'll have more abortions. So everybody with 2 bits of sense knows this. So the question for conservatives is, which one do you want to focus on? Because if you want to kill birth control, it is an absolute guarantee that you will have more abortions. So you can't have both. But you could try, and then you'll have more abortions, and you'll get more angry about it, like right? But the reality is, if you have more birth control, you'll have less abortions. So make up your mind, which one do you want to go with?
Right. Well, I think that this is indicative of what we usually see with conservatives on this particular issue, because they just flat out reject evidence, they reject data, right? And when you tell them, no, Planned Parenthood isn't an abortion factory. In fact, abortion is a tiny fraction of what they do. They actually offer all sorts of healthcare services and contraceptives. They just reject it. They just think that it's an abortion factory. So in their eyes, shutting these clinics down means less abortion. They just, again, completely flat out deny any evidence that you throw at them. They'll probably read this and think to themselves, yeah. University, liberal indoctrination. No. Okay, well, there's gonna be more abortions. And if your goal is to, stop that from happening, this is a really terrible way of going about it.
It just drives me crazy that we live in a country that's supposed to be secular, where we're supposed to have separation of church and state. And every single day we gotta do a story about one Sharia law or another and how they want us to follow their laws. And then some people online will complain, you guys only talk about the Christian fundamentalists, but you don't talk about all the Muslim fundamentalists imposing their laws in America? Okay, look, we talk about Muslim fundamentalists in the Gulf and in many other areas that do terrible things to their citizens, Saudi Arabia, the list goes on, right? What happens in Afghanistan. But here, there are no Muslims in charge. There is no Sharia law that is going to get applied outside of Christian Sharia law. And yes, abortion is part of that. So the main reason that they're against abortion is because of their misinterpretation of the Bible. Bible's pro-abortion, but they think it's anti-abortion. That's the only reason why we're having this stupid conversation. And even in the midst of that stupidity, they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna lower abortions. Oh, damn, we increased them, but okay, I got a great idea. Let's just ignore the facts. But we'll say we're against abortions even though we just made them go up.
They're not against abortions. You guys, they're against abortions, but they're not against abortions for the reasons that they say they are, right? It's all about playing into the base. It's about pandering to conservative voters. And more importantly, it's about controlling the lives of women and letting them know you can or can't do this. You don't get to determine the destiny of your own life. It's just pathetic. It's a bunch of insecure middle-aged men running around crying and whining about women having choice. That's what it's really about.
If you like the Young Turks, you'll love Young Turks membership. tytnetwork.com/join.